left DC Monday morning at 5 a.m. to come to Nebraska. So he's tired, he's in the middle of a campaign, and you could see that guy you could see his, it had taken a toll on him, right? And so he comes here, you can see he's tired, we're busy taking him all over the place in Nebraska. Next day at breakfast, though, you could see this guy's relaxed, he's rested, it was a totally different man, right? And we engaged quite a bit before he left, but I remember he went back to DC for 6 days and was asking the guys, why didn't you just leave me in Nebraska? Like, why are you bringing me here for this? Why? Because he was just being bundled in from meeting to meeting. That you know how those things go sometimes. Like, it was exhausting. It's just like, why didn't you just leave me? I was in Nebraska was.
This is really interesting that you say that, because people, whenever I talk to guys, off camera, we had talked about that we both enjoy Andrew Kibe. What's up, Kibe? And Kibe's first conversation with me, he was like, there's black people in Nebraska.
Yeah, he brought that.
And so the fact that, not only are you here, but Ruto, Prezo was here. And one of the things, because earlier today we were both at a open forum pretty much, right? Introducing the commissioners of the African American Affairs to the public. And one of the things that I had found out at that open forum, Njuguna, was, I'm going to call you Njuguna, I know you said that.
No, actually, that's what I go by more.
Yeah, Wenu Mutu Wangu. Yeah. So one of the things I had found out is that almost every single county, Max, there is a person.
Here or county?
Almost every single county in Nebraska, in the state of Nebraska, there's at least one person of African descent.
In every county.
In every county.
There is. And there's quite a few counties, man.
They said almost every single county in Nebraska there is at least one black person.
That's what the data shows, that there's at least a black person that resides there.
That is insane. So for all those that want to ask, are there black people here? More black people than you think in every county. So
it's the good kind.
So I know Prezo is very big on diaspora, on the Kenyan diaspora, which I admire about your country, because South Sudanese community, we have a very huge diaspora here. About 20,000, I'd say.
Wow.
Approaching that. If not, we haven't done a census in a while. But our diaspora sends, I think there was a report that just came out, I think it was 800 million or something like that back home. But, if our president is watching, we'd love for you to come out here. This is where champions are made. It's a place where you can relax. But I love that President Ruto is very big on the diaspora. What role do you think the diaspora can play in the future of Kenya?
Good question.
It already is. The diaspora right now remits the most foreign currency, or most foreign direct investment is diaspora people that do that in Kenya. I think as of last year, inflows were something like $45 billion to Kenya from the diaspora, not the U.S. diaspora, just overall. But majority of that is from the U.S. anyway, right? To Kenya. So
what was that number again?
I think it's $4 or $5 billion.
$4 or $5 billion
is remitted by the diaspora
every year.
Every year
goes back to Kenya.
Yeah. So it's
insane.
Significant. It's a significant number. But to me, I have said this and I'll keep saying it. The Kenyan government has to realize that to unlock the full potential of the diaspora is to get them to engage their networks here in the U.S. to invest.
Okay. Can you go into more detail?
Yeah, I can come and give you my $50 every month.
And why not?
But
Kush Konvos, we wouldn't.
That's right. You're right. But
that.
basically, so the Kenyan government's thinking should be, you can get $50 from me every month as Njuguna.
Yeah.
But if you engage me in the right way, I'll unlock my network for you and we can do $5,000 every month. But they're not thinking that way. So we have a new president that's trying to get, I think he wants to get remittances to 1 trillion Kenya shillings, which means within his term he wants to get another $5 billion. But if they don't come at me correct, I ain't unlocking my network for that to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are different things you can do, but to me, almost always, when we're talking about resources, finances, relationships are what will get you there. So it can be done. You can get there. But I don't think they're going to get there by trying to tell us, hey, send more money. Ain't nobody sending you more money. You know, like, you know, and most of this money that's sent to Kenya, don't forget, is not going to building houses. It's going to maintenance. Right? It's going to paying for school fees, for health, whatever. So it's going to be sent anyway. My point is this, Kenya needs more than that. They need a lot more going into people either buying bonds or putting money into real estate or putting money into some kind of business. That's what they need, because that will create jobs. It'll spur the economy. That's what they need. And for them to get there, they need to engage us differently. And I don't think they're understanding that.
No.
They're still thinking it's, hey, get him to double his 50, become 100.
So just a quick follow-up on that. You mentioned unlocking your network, correct? How important of a role do you think networking has played in your success?
Buddha, you're potting, huh? You're potting today.
Listen, man, I gotta take this opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. He's with dignitaries. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's everything. Absolutely everything is your relationships and your networks.
Relationships matter.
They do.
Yeah.
So it's everything, bro. I mean, for us coming out here, you don't come with a cent to your name. You start from the bottom and you claw and build your way up, and you don't do that. There are no overnight millionaire stories here, bro. You're gonna put in the work, but in putting in the work, there's always somebody watching. There's always someone who's taking note.
Yeah.
And you gotta show up. The reason I come to Omaha and I try and be in so many places and things is because, you know, that's half the battle, is showing up. Show up.
It is.
You know, show up, be present, be visible.
Ask questions. Learn.
That half of it is there. I think that's how the former governor of Nebraska, that's how he got to know me, was me showing up to things with my Ford name, you know, to the point where, you know,
he had to know you.
He could seek me out in a crowded room, and he could call me and, you know, and all that. So, you know, pick up the phone and give me a call and just chit chat. So that's how it begins.
And I think people, shout out to Governor Ricketts, I think he did a really good job of that. Because that's actually how me and him built a relationship. You know, I happened to be at a place with him, and I just approached him, and I was like, my name is so-and-so, I'm from here, da-da-da-da. And he was very welcoming, and, you know, we were able to build our relationship. And he actually came to a South Sudanese event for the first time. There's been a sitting governor that came to a South Sudanese event. So
that guy is good people. Like, you know, like you see these people on TV and in newspapers and saying certain things, and you just think you define them.
Yeah.
You don't know them, man.
You don't.
Sit down and talk to them. Then you really get to know someone's heart. Don't worry about what Purdy or how they just sit down and talk to these people that know them, and you'll realize that they care, they're real human beings, and they're doing a lot and the best that they can to make a difference. So he's my guy, man.
Yeah.
That guy, he's my guy, and I'm voting for him. So
when are we going to DC?
Whenever you want me to go, I'm easy. I'm ready. But when he's running and whatever, I endorsed him. I already told him I'm gonna campaign for you. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna campaign for Pete.
And you know, one of the rules that I follow, I'm willing to sit down and have a conversation with anybody, right? And then, you know, whether I judge, and judging is even a very
subjective,
opaque word.
Good choice. Right? Good choice.
Because we all have our interests. We all have what is near and dear to our heart.
Yeah.
So because something is important to you and you're gonna stand 10 toes on that, I don't necessarily think you're bad because you don't agree with my thoughts.
That's right.
You understand
exactly.
what I'm saying? And I think that should apply to politics. I think we're in a situation in America. You know, we come from Africa, right? Where our elections, man, are
what elections? Death. It's life.
If you have an election, you're lucky.
That's
actually.
right.
But so our countries are. Listen, I want to go back to Africa. So our campaigns are highly contested and highly emotional, but
Yeah.
the after effects are even usually more contested, right? As you guys can attest to, right?
Mandamano.
So when I see in America, are we back on next Monday?
Bro, by the time this airs, who knows?
Let me know so I can take work off that day.
Yeah.
But to see that's where we come from, right? With the highly charged political environment, and then to be in America where you can really vote in private. No one really has to know what you do. But the fact that now it's like, oh, you support so and so, I can't be friends with you. Or you can be friends with somebody for 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah,
That's
and as
right.
soon as you find out what they what they like and align politically to, it's done.
So to me, that's very crazy. And to come to America and you start hearing them talk about civil war and storm the Capitol and these like trigger words, it's very triggering. Yeah, insurrection.
Oh, yeah.
It's very triggering for where we come from because those things are very serious things.
Yeah, especially the people that, if they're not just, they call it economic immigrants, right? If they're refugee immigrants, right? They're coming from, and most of the time, refugee immigrants come from politically motivated results, right?
Yeah.
And so, you come to, whether it's America or even the UK, right? Like Boris Johnson was booted out by force, right? That can be triggering for a lot of people.
Look at France; they're like burning their city. That you would think it's a third world country or something.
Macron, man.
You gotta go.
Macron, bro. Macron. So, man, as much, because we want to get you on the rest of your way, but before we do, I want to get into the nitty gritty, man. I love entrepreneurship. We follow each other on social media.
Yeah.
I love entrepreneurship. When I say that, I love it because it can cause a man to be a man. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you are making your own money, you can really control your own actions. If you don't want to work for that day, you don't work, but you also suffer. You take full responsibility.
That's right.
You understand? You are an entrepreneur, young man.
Cereal.
Oh, okay. What had you? For those that don't know, he is the owner of a coffee, right? A coffee shop or?
No, it's not a shop.
What is it exactly?
It's called Zabuni Specialty Coffee.
You want to say that again one more time?
Zabuni Specialty Coffee.
Yeah.
And
what does Zabuni mean for those that don't speak Swahili?
Zabuni is a Swahili word that means to auction or to proffer or to sell. But the truth of the matter is...
So you're a hustler.
Yeah. I am a hustler, absolutely. The truth of the matter is, we were just...